Welcome to Disaster Party Podcast. As always, this is Rob Cedeno and
Oh, whoa, daddy, it's your boy Andy Vivians. That's Bivians, the one true whoa daddy. And let me tell you, just like Wakanda Forever, and just like Daniel Bryan hitting that running knee, whoa daddy, it's episode 23.
oh shit.
Ooh, I'm fired up.
This is our WrestleMania week review. It's a lot of matches, so we probably won't go into detail about most of them, but we'll give you our honest opinion. We apologize for the delay in the recording of this podcast, but you're still getting it, and you're getting it right now.
Oh, whoa, daddy, we're still bringing the heat. We're still bringing the fire. It's a different day, but WrestleMania is still in our hearts. Whoa, daddy.
Whoa. All right. So, give me your general take. It was a pretty good, I'd say, the two pay-per-views between NXT Stand and Deliver Night 1, Night 2, and WrestleMania Night 1, Night 2. I would say that each night was pretty good. I would say some of the nights had definitely low spots, but I feel like every single night had extremely high spots.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not gonna lie. I actually really enjoyed this one. Like really enjoyed this one. Like both shows. I think both shows delivered hands down on that WrestleMania feel. So I'm excited about this. And I know me and you talked a little bit through text and whatnot. Some of your low points were my high points, but that was only because difference of perspective. Okay. But we're gonna get into that.
All right. I got my Young Bucks shirt on, as you can see. It's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive.
That's dope.
My friend Matt got it for me. He was awesome enough to get it for me. He's actually going to be on the podcast in June. So yeah. All right, so let's just jump into it. People have been waiting. They heard us banter on the news. So let's go into it. So
let's do it.
NXT Stand and Deliver Night 1. The pre-show was an up-and-coming Zoe Stark versus Toni Storm. Believe it or not, Zoe Stark went over on Toni Storm.
I love it.
I think that might be the last we see of Toni Storm in NXT. I think she is going to show up on the main roster or go back to the UK. I'm not sure.
Both are great. I don't know if you've seen a lot of it, but the NXT UK is killing it.
It's just it's on at a weird time, and with all the other wrestling going on, it's hard to commit to go back to watch it. I'll watch the Walter matches.
Okay, well that's because Walter kills everybody.
Yeah, he absolutely kills.
We love this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, if you watch NXT UK and regular NXT, granted it's the same. It's NXT, but it's got that. I don't know what it is. The UK has that different feel to it. It brings a different energy, a different vibe. And for NXT this one and for WrestleMania, you got the fans back in attendance, so I know that helped a bunch.
Oh yeah.
And when NXT UK first started and you had the fans in attendance, I don't know, it was a completely different feel for me.
And they've been going completely no fans, right?
Yeah,
dead arenas. There's nobody in there. Yeah, not even Thunderdome. Or they kind of just started Thunderdome, no?
Yeah.
Or it's not full Thunderdome. It's only in the stage.
They have it's a different setup from the actual, because the other NXT is kind of Thunderdome still, right?
It's half Thunderdome, and then it's NXT lower card are in the stands.
Gotcha.
Kind of like how AEW has the undercards in the stands in the front row.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right. So let's go into the main pay-per-view of night 1. And the opening match was Pete Dunne versus Kushida, and oh man, that match got me hyped because those two are just submission specialists, you want to say? And and I'll give it. I mean, you're the more technical wrestler, kind of the ins and outs of actually the wrestling scene. But I'll say, I went into this match expecting a good amount of like solid wrestling, and I think I got it. But I think that um, this match was completely solid. But I think given more time, I think they would have killed it even more. This match only went like 10 minutes.
But it was still great. Like the
Yeah, yeah.
story they told throughout the entire thing, and you know the joint manipulation and uh, just awesome, awesome.
I think they might have given it such a small amount of time because maybe in the future they'll have like a main event and they'll get more time. But I think this was good enough that it satisfied my oh shit this match is going to be good. On top of that, it gave me enough that I want to see it again.
Oh yeah, I would love to see more from both of them.
Yeah. Um. All right. So match number two. This match was actually the longest match on night one, and this was the 6-man Gauntlet Eliminator match. And the winner went to go face Johnny Gargano, the NXT North American Champion, on night two. So the 6 contestants are Bronson Reed, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Cameron Grimes to the moon, LA Knight, who just came in, and Dexter Loomis, who is like kind of what do you want to say, a buffed up Dexter,
Yeah,
Dexter Morgan, and
no,
then Leon Ruff.
this match was awesome in all capacity. Just the way it started, the way it broke down with the two competitors at first.
Well,
And
they were
then,
like beating. They were fighting before the match even started.
oh hell yeah,
Not Scott and Ruff. They were fucking each other up
yeah,
before
because
it even started.
they
Yeah.
have that history. You know, they had that story behind them where you know
Yeah.
they beat the shit out of each other, and then all of a sudden you brought in big giant Bronson to come and clean house, and then you see Swerve be like, nah, like you can beat him up, go ahead, I don't need him.
And then what? And then Cameron Grimes comes in and pulls like a wad of cash out of his tights, and then gives it to Scott and go, all right, let's beat up on Leon Ruff, or was it Leon Ruff they were beating up on? But I was like,
Yeah,
damn, like he pulled out like $5,000 out of his tights, and then Scott just shoved it in his tights. But that was funny.
he was like, yo, you gonna pay me? All right, let's roll.
Yeah, exactly.
He
So
knew.
that match was a solid match, and actually I was a little surprised by the winner, and the winner was Bronson Reed. Um, I like him, but like I can't like I'm not fully behind him yet, if that makes sense.
I think opposite, and I think
Okay.
that this proved it. You know, him and Gargano was a great match. Like Gargano tried everything against him. Well, we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah. But you know
But
why? You know why I think I'm a little off on Bronson, is because you know the kid from Deadpool 2.
yeah,
He just reminds me of a grown-up version.
that's even more badass.
But I can't like remove it. You know what I'm saying? I can't like remove it. I'm like,
The kid in Deadpool 2 is dope.
but I can't like. But he was kind of whiny, so like I can't for some reason get that out of my head.
And Bronson's a big ass powerhouse. Like,
Yeah. But
dope.
yeah. But they're both like Australian, I think, and they sound similar. Just one sounds more manly because he's a man. But yeah. Anyways, so the next match, I think, was my match of the 2 nights of NXT, possibly the whole weekend,
Okay.
and that was Walter, the NXT United, the UK champion, versus Tommaso Ciampa. Okay, so let's describe this for people who don't know. Walter is like 6'1", probably like 300 pounds. He doesn't look muscular, but he looks like he'd beat your ass, right? He just looks like a bouncer type, like a thick fucking dude.
Nah, he's
And
bigger than a fucking bouncer.
well,
If I'm going to a club and I see him as a bouncer, like, sir, what are we doing? Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
but he's not like ripped. He's not like super. He doesn't look super muscular, but I'm sure he is. And then you have Tommaso Ciampa, who's like 5'6" to 5'8", bald, giant gray beard, like gray and black, like salt and pepper beard, but he is fucking ripped. And he's super tan, and then you got Walter, who's like super pale. And this match, there's a lot that goes on in this match, but the fact that like Walter's known for just beating the shit out of people, like literally beating the shit out of people, that like
Facts.
their chests look like meatloaf, kind of like sloppy Joe kind of thing, like on their chest, and they both of them, both Ciampa and Walter were just beating the shit out of each other this whole match. It was a hard fought match. Like, it was believable. Like, they were both like, you could see how hard they were hitting each other. The bruises on both of them after the match, and like Walter ended up coming out on top. But the thing is like Walter. One thing about Walter that I like is that he doesn't have like a guaranteed finisher. If you notice, each one of his matches he finishes them differently.
This is a fucking monster.
And this match, he literally beat Ciampa with a chop against the chest. But again, it's like I think his thing is like he just beats the shit out of the wrestlers into the point that they like are so tired and broken that any move he does is just like he could finish anybody off in one shot. And the fact that he just like chest chopped him, Ciampa fell, and then 1, 2, 3, like one, hard fought match. 2, you didn't see the fucking ending coming. You didn't see the finish coming. And 3, you can see how beat up both guys were. I was like, damn.
See, so if you guys want any match to watch to kind of see what Rob is talking about, watch this match and watch Walter and what was it, Dragunov?
Dragunov, holy shit.
They beat the shit out of each other for like 45 minutes straight to the point of like it was uncomfortable to watch.
Oh, yeah, that match was. This one was only 17. This one was 17 minutes like on the dot.
But like you even had Ciampa, like I thought Ciampa was gonna win at certain moments because he was beat. You never saw Walter in that vulnerable state, you know.
Yeah.
And Ciampa was just beating the shit out of him, keeping him down. And then Walter comes back, pow, and then you know. I agree. That was a great match.
And here's a hot take. I don't know if you agree with me before we move on to the next match. I'm gonna say that the NXT United Kingdom Championship has probably, over the duration of its lifetime, the best, if not the most consistent title, solid, like strong title matches. If you think about when Tyler Bate had it, all those matches were good. You think about when Pete Dunne had it, all those matches were good. And now that Walter's had it for literally over 2 years, every single Walter title defense has been awesome.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
I think the NXT heavyweight title matches have been awesome as well. You got to think like
as consistent
when Adam
though?
Cole had it, and he had Undisputed Era. Huh?
I mean, I'm saying as consistent? Like every single match, you're like as almost a 5-star match for the UK Championship.
Yeah.
I can think of one match of the NXT Championship that wasn't that great.
But you also got to think you're using, maybe not.
I'm going average. I'm going average here.
Since it started, you're saying.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, if you're comparing it to Walter, you're only comparing one person in all of his matches to everybody else and the NXT heavyweight title.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the whole belt. Like, when Pete Dunne had it, all those matches were good. When Tyler Bate had it, all those matches were great. Like, go back and watch Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne, that takeover match for the UK title. Like, that was fucking awesome. Go back and watch Pete Dunne versus Walter. That was awesome. Like,
honestly, actually, okay, so here's, I guess. Oh, you froze on me for a second.
All right, go ahead.
What were you saying?
I just said that Pete Dunne versus Walter was awesome. Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate was awesome. Like, those matches were just so good.
Oh, yeah, no, they were good. I also think that NXT UK style and NXT, I guess, regular NXT, they're two different styles, too, if you think.
That's true. So maybe I just like the British style.
Yeah, a lot of it's like, it could be technical, it could be ground and pound, it could be powerhouse. Sure. Meanwhile, you have on the NXT side, you have either straight up fucking powerhouse, or you have technical manipulation, submission. You know what I mean? Like they're different styles. So I think they're all good in their own perspective.
Okay.
But they're different. But again, it depends on each person.
I'm not even shitting on the NXT championship matches. I'm just saying consistently, I think over the duration, NXT UK title has had consistently great, if not phenomenal, title defenses. But I'm not shitting on other titles. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. All right, so let's jump on to the next match. The next match was also a fucking awesome match. I'll let you go into that, but it's a triple threat tag match for the vacated NXT tag champions. It was vacated because Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch had it, and Danny Burch, like, I think he tore a muscle in his leg, and he was going to be out for like 8 months. But it was like a freak injury.
Yeah.
So the champions match was MSK, which is Wesley and Nash Carter, versus Grizzly Young Veterans, which is James Drake and Zach Gibson, and El Legado del Fantasma, which is Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. This match was just wild. I don't even know. Like, this was great. This was just all over the place. There was no downtime. It was 15 minutes, and like this was a solid tag match.
I love this match. So Danny Burch actually suffered a shoulder injury, which is the reason why they had to vacate the titles. A separated shoulder, and this match was awesome for so many different reasons.
Yeah,
because you had so many different tag teams in there, where if they won the belt, it would have meant something different for each team, but it would have meant something awesome for each team as well.
that's true. Because I don't. Has Grizzly Young Vets had? I know they had the UK tag titles. So
Yeah.
all these teams would have been first time tag champions.
NXT tag champions.
And MSK just came to the company. They were in TNA, and then you had Grizzly Young Vets coming from NXT UK, and then Legado del Fantasma. They're with their boy Santos.
Yep.
So,
yep.
But I think that the Grizzly Young Vets obviously have the UK style, which we just talked about. You have Phantasm, which is more of like a luchador style. Yep. And then you have MSK, which is like they're just all over. They're like very, I would say like indie style, right?
A little, but I would think they have the more the lucha style as well.
But they're a good mix.
Yeah, like they pretty much work both, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like a good mixture of stuff. They all three tag teams like meshed well, and it was like a solid match.
And you can tell like the story between like Grizzled Young Vets and like MSK, like, and you can see like when MSK was in the hold and they're getting ready to tap, and like they're kind of looking at each other like, no, like we need this, like, you know, fight a little harder, like that story right there. And they're just like, no, fuck you, like this belongs to us. And you like, you could feel through each and every team how bad they wanted the championship, how bad they wanted to be on top, and it just made that match 10 times better. It was awesome.
So the winner of that match was actually MSK, and like you could see like the emotion in their eyes, the fact that they won, and like, yeah, it was good. All right, so we went. All right, so now to the main event. The main event: Raquel Gonzalez versus Eoshirai. So here's a little story behind this one.
This guy.
Eoshirai has basically been champion for what, probably like a year, and she's beaten like everybody. She hasn't beaten Raquel yet, but Raquel pinned her in the War Games match. And then after the War Games match, everyone thought that was going to be the match, but then Dakota and Raquel became tag team champions. They went on to do like the Dusty Classic. So then finally this storyline came. This was a solid match. Like I said, Raquel is like a big like brolic woman, and she's more of like a if you want to say like Diesel, right? And then Io is more like a Rey Mysterio. So it was a good like base versus like the baby face. So Io was using her as a good base. Io's a lot of flippy shit. Like she jumped off the fucking skull thing.
That was crazy.
Like a lot of cool stuff.
Crazy.
So this match was solid. This match was awesome. And this was 12, almost 13 minutes.
This match could have gone either way in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, Raquel could win and become first time women's champion. Eoshirai could retain and keep going with her legacy with the championship. They both beat the shit out of each other. And yeah, that dive off the skull of the can't even call it the Titantron because it wasn't really a Titantron. It was just like the skull setup for the entrance.
Yeah.
But if you saw like the top can, that's pretty high. Like, that's a high dive. But she's known for doing that. She did that in Your House in NXT when she
with the trash can over her head.
Yeah, which is scary as fuck. You you put a trash can on your head and do a backflip. I can't see where you're going. Like, that's crazy. But,
so the winner of that match was Raquel Gonzalez.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. It was like I said, well deserved to be the main event. Solid match. This whole night, every single match delivered on this night.
100%.
In my opinion. I still think Walter versus Ciampa was my match of the night. I don't know. What do you think your match of the night for night one was?
I think it was Walter and Ciampa too.
But I'd say the women's match was number 2. Close. Yeah. Close number 2.
Yes.
All right. So let's move on. Oh yeah, then tag. Yep. One thing, there is a theme through the whole weekend, or the whole week, that I will say at the end.
Okay.
I don't know. You probably noticed it, but all right. So night 2, we have a pre-show match, which was basically the winner received a tag team championship match against MSK, and it was Killian Dane and Drake Maverick versus Breezango, and Killian Dane versus Drake won.
Nice.
Cool. That's pretty much all that was. Yeah.
Love
the opening match of the actual pay-per-view was Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin. So this match, the whole reason why this match was happening is because Jordan Devlin currently is one of the NXT cruiserweight champions, and then Escobar is also a cruiserweight champion. The reason why is because Jordan Devlin got stuck over in the UK with the pandemic, so they basically had an interim NXT cruiserweight championship tournament, which Escobar won. So Escobar has been holding this championship since that tournament, and Devlin never lost the championship, and he finally came back. So this is basically to unify the two champions.
Love Escobar.
Oh, dude, when he came out, like, his music is fly, his entrance is awesome. He had that cool mask and the cape. He was like representing luchas. I was like, all right, this is cool. Cool.
Love it. He gives me a very cartel feel.
Yes, yeah, like a drug cartel leader kind of thing.
Yeah, it's dope. This match was awesome. Like, this match delivered.
Dude, just like fact that, he broke through the fucking ladder.
Oh yeah, he
like
killed him.
Toward the end, like, I was like, oh, you're dead.
He killed him. And then he took his time going up to get both belts, and he looked back like, I kind of want to hurt him some more, but nah, he's good. And then climbed and then grabbed both belts. Like, I love it.
Slowly, bro. Oh, well, we're kind of spoiling it. So Escobar won, but when he won, he fucking went up there. He took one off. He laid it on top of the ladder. He took the other one off and laid it on top of the ladder, like, all slow, and then he held him up.
He lays one down, and then he looks down at him for like a split second. He's just like, I got this. Looks up, grabs the other one, takes it down. I'm the winner. And it's awesome because I guess the way it set it up, Shawn Michaels came out and slid the ladder in, and like Michaels and Razor, the originals of the ladder match. So I think with that happening, and then them saying like, okay, this match is a ladder match now, in my mind watching this, all I'm thinking is Michaels Razor. And how does this stack up? And I think this delivered above and beyond what I thought it originally was going to. And I already had high hopes for that match.
The only thing that I could have done without, and I understand why it happened, is his group of Mendoza and Wild, they interrupted the match, or they interfered with the match when it looked like Devlin was going to win. Obviously, Escobar is supposed to be a heel, and that was the point. But I think the match was going so well, and like this was a killer match. But I think that one thing kind of like put a little damper. It almost like you had two stud horses racing, and then some other like funky horse just like pushed over the other guy, the other horse.
Now you need that.
No, I know you needed it, but
because the
I'm
group's
saying,
got to stay together.
but I know that you
The
needed
group
it.
needed to keep the belt. They
I
can't.
understand why it happened. I'm saying the match was so good without it that I think it could have done without it.
Yeah.
Like if Escobar in the beginning was like, "Yo, I got this, leave it." You know what I'm saying? That would have been a storyline reason why they weren't there, and I think it would like it was awesome, but I think it would have. I think it could have taken up one more notch if that was not there.
I think it adds to him.
It does.
And it adds to the group because now you're seeing that they're willing to go out there and keep that championship in their camp.
True.
So it's like that small little detail of like, we need to keep this so we can keep on rolling and then keep pushing forward. You know what I mean?
But then my opinion is it seemed like they babyfaced him after the match because then his kid was out on the ramp with him. And he put his mask on his kid and put one of the belts on his kid. And I'm like, a heel's not gonna do that shit.
Oh, he's in his camp. It's his kid. Of course.
Yeah,
of course he's gonna do that.
Don't do that on TV.
It's familial.
Don't do that on TV.
You gotta put your family over no matter what.
Oh,
I could walk out on the street and be an asshole to anybody, but guess what? My kid's my kid.
Yeah, but don't show it on TV. All right. So the next match was Ember Moon versus Shotzi Blackheart versus The Way, which is Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. I'm gonna say solid match. Nothing to write home about. Ember and Blackheart won. If you have anything to add,
I thought it was good.
I like it was good, but it wasn't anything to like write home about.
I thought it was good. Well, both teams are great.
Yes.
Shotzi and Ember Moon have been tagging a lot recently, especially for the tag title. And yeah, no, I thought this was a great match.
Do you want to know something I realized that bothers me a little bit?
What?
About Ember. Okay, so you have Blackheart, right? Who you can almost like she's a little aggravating because like she screams and all the time. But you can tell that that's like her.
Ember?
No, Blackheart.
Okay.
Like you could tell like that's her outside. Like she's living her gimmick kind of thing.
Okay.
And then like the crazy hair, the crazy color, all that stuff. And then when she started tagging with Ember, who we've seen for years, right? This is not like her first showing. Now, Ember's dressing like her and screaming like her and acting like her, and I'm like, it doesn't feel as natural. It feels almost like you're like again. Ember's awesome, but I think since she went with Blackheart, it almost feels like she's trying to act crazy because Blackheart kind of acts like crazy, and it just like it's almost like she's clearly doing it, but I just don't find it as believable as Blackheart, and then it makes it feel a little awkward.
So
does that make sense?
It does, and I know exactly why it feels awkward for you.
Okay.
So before they started tagging,
Uh-huh.
you were used to Ember Moon
being the werewolf.
Being the werewolf.
Yeah, or the werewolf character.
But now that they're tagging and they're becoming a team, they're becoming one. So like what Ember does resonates with what Blackheart does. What Blackheart does resonates with what Ember does. So like they're mixing it together, so to speak. Because you got Blackheart doing the wolf call.
But she was doing the wolf call before they tagged.
That's true. But Moon used to do that as well. So okay, I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? Like she was. That's why she got the Halloween Havoc shit. Like that's why she hosted Halloween Havoc because she was doing the wolf thing.
She was doing the whole.
And that was before Ember came back to NXT.
Yeah.
So like I said, I love Ember. Like I love her finisher. Her finisher's fucking awesome. I don't know how she hits it, but I feel like she's not as believable in that character as Blackheart is. That's all.
Okay.
It's just like a little bother thing to me.
I think it's just them being together.
You don't think they fit well?
No, I think they fit well. But I think the reason why you have a problem with it is because you're used to how she was when she was a single. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
And now that they're a tag, they're doing some of the same things together, but you're used to Ember being Ember, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense. No, it makes sense. Okay, that's fair. All right, we gave that match too much time. All right. So the next match is the singles match for the NXT North American Championship. This is Johnny Gargano versus Bronson Reed, who won the match the night before. Story with this: Bronson Reed won the match the night before, but Johnny Gargano was this like his storyline is that he couldn't keep the championship. Like every time he had a championship, he'd lose on his first shot. But then he broke that like little I don't know what do you want to call it, that like
Losing streak?
that losing streak, and now he's with the Way with his wife and Austin Theory and Indy Hartwell, and they've been kind of funny, and he's kind of been like a cocky heel. But this match was really good. Bronson again was like the base, kind of like the Diesel, and Johnny Gargano is a very smaller guy, much smaller. He's like 5'6", like 150 pounds. Like this guy's tiny, but he's a fucking good wrestler. That's why they call him what Mr. NXT or no Johnny Takeover. Yeah, and yeah, this match was solid. This was 16 minutes. Yeah.
This match, I actually thought Bronson was going to take it
Oh really?
a lot of the time because, I mean, you had the big guy, little guy. Johnny tried everything, like, try to be quick with it and try and take him down, but like he was too big. He had the big man. He overpowered Johnny, so Johnny had to figure out a different way to kind of take Bronson down. Finally gets him down. Then Bronson comes back, and I thought this was Bronson's moment, so to speak, because he dominated the elimination. Like he dominated LA Knight when LA Knight came out, and LA Knight was talking shit the night before, and he dominated that match. He went over. I thought he was going over tonight too, and I didn't think he was going to dominate Johnny Gargano, but I thought he definitely was taking the title from him. So it actually surprised me when Johnny beat him for the belt and retained.
But it was I think they gave this like a 4.25 stars out of 5. So this was a solid match. Like this was a solid match. Like pretty much everything from night 1 and night 2 so far, solid. Like go back and watch all of it.
Facts.
So the next match was Karrion Kross versus Finn Balor. So I don't know, the story that you want to say with this is Finn Balor's been the champion. Oh no, Karrion Kross was the champion. He won it from Keith Lee. Karrion Kross got hurt in that match, and that's one of the matches, the NXT title matches, that I didn't think that was that great.
Which one?
The Kross versus Lee.
Okay.
But that's because Kross got hurt in the middle. So basically, Kross had to vacate his title. They had a whole tournament thing. Finn Balor won it. Finn Balor had some crazy matches with Kyle O'Reilly and stuff like that. Finn Balor got hurt, but they didn't vacate. They didn't make him vacate. He came back, had a couple matches with Pete Dunne. That was good. Kyle O'Reilly, that was awesome. Those 2 matches. And basically, Karrion Kross finally got the championship match. This match was, I would say, solid. I think it could have been better. It was great, but I've never seen Karrion Kross before NXT, but I've heard like really awesome things.
Okay.
And I just haven't seen like what the hype's about yet, if that makes sense.
I remember him from Lucha Underground, and I remember watching him there, and he was awesome.
Okay.
And then he comes to NXT. He's got a new look. He's got a new vibe. He's got a new manager.
His wife.
And this match actually is the one where I actually thought it took night 2.
Oh, okay.
Here's why. Finn's whole strategy was to make Kross mad enough that he fucks up and Finn capitalizes.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
You see it throughout the entire deal. That's why he's the prince. That's why he's trying to manipulate Kross to kind of throw himself off. It's almost like I'm going to go out on a limb, and it's almost like a Rocky and the fucking Russian. What the fuck is his name? Drago. It's almost like Rocky and Drago. Like Rocky's like fighting, And Drago's getting pissed off because Drago can't fucking beat Rocky. And Finn's doing the same thing. Like, fucking Cross is hitting him with every single thing known to man. And Finn's just like laughing at him. Like, you literally see him laughing at him. And you're just like, yo, he's fucking laughing at him because he's trying to throw him off. Then Cross catches him, but Finn keeps working and keeps breaking him down, but it's only pissing off Cross more. And then Cross catches him. And then there's a point in the match where you realize Finn's like, oh, I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. And Cross just fucking dominates and takes the title from him.
So, did you notice, sorry, one thing. If I remember correctly, Cross hurt his shoulder.
Yep.
During that match. You notice that Finn Balor had an X on his shoulder? And I think that was trying to represent, like, this is where I'm targeting you.
Well, if you remember, the reason why Cross had to vacate the title was because he fucked his shoulder up.
Yeah, exactly.
So Finn was already targeting not only his shoulder, but his midsection.
Mm-hmm.
And kept attacking it. But eventually Cross got the best of him, and Cross took the belt back.
See, like I said, I don't think this was a bad match. My opinion, I think Finn Balor versus O'Reilly were better title matches. And again, I didn't see Cross before NXT and a lot of hype. And you got to think, when he first came in, it was like squash match, Lee. He got hurt. And then he's had like 4 matches before this match. And like even the Escobar match was good, but it's like I think he was just overhyped for me, and I thought this was gonna be like a barn burner. And again, it wasn't bad. I just don't think it was like a barn burner type level. And this was only 17 minutes, so it's not too long.
I lost you for a minute there. You froze for me on like 30 seconds.
Oh, basically I just said I thought this was gonna be a barn burner. And I didn't think it lived up to like the Finn Balor title reign, like him versus O'Reilly were like fucking murder matches, and I thought it was good.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up then, because this brings me back to my original point: is that O'Reilly and Balor were more of that UK style. You know, O'Reilly's very technical. O'Reilly,
but they were beating the shit out of each other, bro. They both came out of the match with like broken jaws and broken orbital bones and shit.
But they were beating the shit out of each other, but it had a more UK feel to it. It's hard to explain. Okay. But Karrion Kross's match, it was more of Finn trying to outsmart Kross and get him pissed off and get him mad. It wasn't like technical, like, I'm gonna fuck you up UFC style. I'm gonna, grab a hold and fucking rip your fucking muscle out. It was more of like, I'm going to make you mad, you're going to make a mistake, and then I'm going to fuck you up and take my title back.
True. Okay. All right. So, that was about 17 minutes. The next match, the main event, was Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. I'll go into, the background, and then you go into the match, because this was a lot. This is a lot.
Yeah, so, what?
Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole were in the Undisputed Era. So basically, after a while, Kyle O'Reilly was getting the title matches. Adam Cole got jealous. He ended up breaking up the group, targeting Kyle O'Reilly. Then they used the storyline of their real-life friendship in this storyline, and they're showing pictures of them training when they were 18. These guys wrestled through Japan together, Ring of Honor together. These guys have crazy, crazy history, right? I actually saw Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole at Wrestle Kingdom.
That's dope.
4 years ago, and it was for the Ring of Honor Championship, and O'Reilly came in with the belt, and Adam Cole beat him for it.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was when Adam Cole was in the Bullet Club, so that's when they were pushing the Bullet Club hard.
Okay.
So, this was basically a grudge match, and basically, it was an unsanctioned match. And real quick, I'm not sure if I said it, but Karrion Kross actually beat Finn Balor in that last match. I know we talked about the match, but I don't know if we talked about the winner. But back to Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, that was an unsanctioned match. And this match was 40 minutes long.
They beat the shit out of each other.
But as a wrestler, right? When you're comfortable with somebody like that, like you are almost more willing to like put your body on the line because you trust the person who you're wrestling with.
They had every reason to go at it. And just think of so I the what caught my eye the most, was video packages are back. I love that. That made me happy. So I'm watching the video package between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, and everything you see, every small little tidbit, is putting the story together. And you can see how Adam Cole has been on top the entire time, but recently it's always been Kyle O'Reilly that's getting the heavyweight title shots. And Adam Cole is the leader of the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole is the NXT champion. Kyle O'Reilly was the tag team champion. Everybody had their set roles. Now Kyle O'Reilly is going for the heavyweight championship, and Adam Cole's like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
That's my spot. Fuck you.
Jealousy.
And all of a sudden, Finn Balor's brought into the mix, who's supposed to be an enemy of the Undisputed Era. Kyle O'Reilly helps up Finn. Adam's like, oh, okay. Now you're trying to take my spot and bring somebody else in to also take my spot. Fuck you both. Now they have a grudge because Kyle O'Reilly would have done anything for the Undisputed Era. That was his life. And Adam Cole's like, no, you're just a lackey. You're just a lapdog. You'll never be in my spot. So they had, and then you got to think on NXT, and Adam Cole tried to fucking end his career in life by fucking giving him a brainbuster on the steel steps, which is nasty.
That was at the turn.
They had every reason to beat the ever-loving shit out of each other. Adam Cole wants to prove that, like, he's the top dog. He wants the top spot. He's the heavyweight champion, not Kyle O'Reilly. And Kyle O'Reilly's like, fuck you. That's my spot. I can be the heavyweight champion if I wanted to be. You turned on me when I was loyal to you. Now I'm going to whoop your ass. And I think that's where that came from.
Okay.
Or competition.
Yeah. But this was like, if you got 40 minutes, I mean, this is a match to go back to. Like, this was a solid match. But, yeah.
They beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah. But, yes, sir. All right. So that was the end of TakeOver, Night 1 and Night 2. What would you say was your top match of Night 2?
Probably Finn Balor.
Okay.
Him and Karrion. I love the story. I loved how it played out. I loved what it meant. Yeah, probably that. And then Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole would be next.
Okay. See, I would put Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole as one for the night, and overall, I'd probably say of the two nights was Walter versus Ciampa was number 1 for me. Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole was 2. Then I put the women's match, Io and Gonzalez, as 3, and then I'd put Karrion Kross and Finn Balor as 4.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. All right. Now we're on to WrestleMania. So before we go into WrestleMania, this was like kind of cool, crazy, all this stuff, like all of it. Like, this is the first time that they've had fans in over a year. They had 25,000, I think, each night. And night 1, they said, welcome to WrestleMania. All the, like, a bunch of wrestlers you could tell were all, like, emotional. And then the first ever rain delay.
Yeah, that rain delay was mad long, too.
First ever rain delay. And everyone's like, what? And, like, you could see that they were doing, like, scramble interviews. Like, you could tell a lot of it was improv and stuff like that. And, like, some of it was good, some of it was bad. But I was like, oh, thank God, let's get the matches going. And then they came back, and the first match of the night was Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. This was 18 minutes long to start WrestleMania. Here's my opinion on this. You could two huge guys fucking going all out, like being super athletic, jumping all over the place, like everything. Like this was a solid like two fucking like Godzilla vs Kong. Like that's how you could say it. The only thing
1,000%.
so Bobby Lashley won with a submission, but Drew McIntyre just passed out. Here's the thing: this match was so good, and then it ended stupidly, and it ruined it for me.
You think so?
Yes, and here's why: solid, solid, solid all the way through. Then Drew was about to get ready for the Claymore, and then MVP was like, "Hey, hey, look over here." Drew looked over. Why? Like, why would you look over? And then he gets put in the lock and done.
MVP caught his attention. Bobby Lashley made him pass out.
I thought it was weak though. I thought the whole match was good. The ending was weak.
Drew went down fighting for the heavyweight championship, not giving up to try and gain the heavyweight championship, and passed out.
See, I always have a thing in wrestling, like when you're in a match and you know someone can come and hit you at any point. I know it's wrestling, so don't get on my ass about that. But one thing that always bothers me is when someone's in the ring and they're fighting in the ring, and then like the music comes on and they're like they stop everything, huh? And then they get beat. And then they get smacked in the back of the head or get a finisher. It's like someone just screamed, "Yo, yo, look here," and then that cost you the match.
Because you got to think like that'll take you have a direct path and like a direct line on where you want to go, right? You have like everything in your head about what you're going to do and how you're going to win. And then a wrench gets thrown into your plans. And then all of a sudden for that split second, you're like, oh, fuck. Like it throws your game off and it throws you off. And then you get caught and you're like, oh, shit. But, all right. So if you want to do the music, so like back in the day, the glass breaks, and Austin's music hits. And fucking Rock stops, or Triple H stops beating up on somebody, but he's looking at the Titantron because now he's got to figure out how the fuck am I going to beat up the Rock and worry about Stone Cold coming down to beat my ass. Same concept. Like MVP's hurt, but MVP can still do some damage even with that cane. So like, hey, over here, he wants to stop him from interfering because he doesn't want him to cost him the heavyweight title, but in the same realm, he's costing him the heavyweight title.
But even if MVP came in and hit him with the cane, it would have been a DQ. Technically, Drew would have won, and he would have gotten a rematch. So like,
would he get a rematch though? Because
that's how WWE. He got a rematch anyway, bro. Spoiler alert: Bobby Lashley won. They had a match on Raw, number one contenders match for Backlash, and now Drew is getting a rematch in 3 weeks. So again, anyways. Solid match, solid opener. Didn't like the ending.
But he didn't win the belt at Mania. That's bigger.
Either way. All right. Second match, literally, we can run through because it didn't mean anything to anybody. It was the tag team turmoil match. It's the for the women's title. So basically, the winner of the tag team turmoil match gets to go on to night 2 to face the tag team champions, which is Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. This match was like literally every little bit was like the first it was Lana and Naomi versus Billie Kay and Carmella. That lasted 2 minutes. Billie Kay and Carmella won. Then it was Riot Squad versus Billie Kay and Carmella. That was 5 minutes. Then Riot Squad beat Billie Kay and Carmella. Then Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose came out. Mandy Rose slipped on the ramp, so that was funny. That was 10 minutes. And then Riot Squad beat them. And then Natalya and Tamina came out for 15 minutes, or just 15 minutes total in the match. And then basically Natalya and Tamina won. One cool thing is that I don't think Tamina's ever had like a WrestleMania win. And you could see that Natalya was about to put, I think Ruby Riott I don't know, one of the Riot Squad members in the sharpshooter. But then she let Tamina do the Superfly jump, whatever you want to call it. And then they won.
Super fly smash.
Yeah, so they got their win. So they get to go to night 2 to face the champions. Cool.
I thought the Riot Squad was actually gonna win.
They did look solid, and that's why I was like, okay, they could win, and then they made them lose, and I was like, man.
And just like you were saying, like Tamina, I mean, I'm sure Tamina had her WrestleMania moment, but like seeing that, it kind of felt like, this was Tamina's WrestleMania moment. I thought that was dope. And the fact that they went on, night 2, it was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Next match, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. This was about 11 and a half minutes. Uh, Storyline is Seth Rollins came back. He started being an asshole. Cesaro was like, I'm going to fuck with you. Gave him the swing, and then they had this match. So here's the thing. This is like, shoot. Cesaro's never had a singles match on WrestleMania. So this is his first singles match in WrestleMania, and Seth Rollins is known as like Mr. WrestleMania, right? Like next to Shawn Michaels. Like he has all these big, huge moments of WrestleMania. This match was solid all the way through. Both of these guys are incredible athletes. Like this match was solid, and it actually gave Cesaro his first ever singles win in WrestleMania. This match was solid all the way through.
This match actually was my match of the night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought this took night 1 for sure.
All right. I'd put it up there. Yeah, I agree. All right. Anything else besides like just solid in ring work?
The back and forth. Again, like you said, the fact that it was Cesaro's first singles WrestleMania match ever was awesome. You can feel the energy through Cesaro. You could feel the passion. You could feel the excitement. It could be the start of something, to come from that. Yeah. And Seth is back on Mania, so.
That's true. All right. So next match, AJ Styles versus Omos versus the New Day. So basically, this is Omos' first match ever. Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania. This match was basically AJ Styles getting beat up the whole time. He finally tags in Omos, and basically they make Omos look like a fucking monster. He's like 7'4", and just like basically he destroys the New Day, pins the New Day, and he steps on Xavier. He steps on Kofi, and 1-2-3 winner. This makes AJ Styles a Grand Slam champion. It makes almost one of 2 people to win the Tag Team Championship on their first match at WrestleMania. The other one was Nicholas, the 12-year-old boy, like 4 years ago. For me, this match it basically just showcased Omos. Besides that, like, AJ sold for most of the match, and then they made the New Day made Omos look like a monster.
Well, yeah, because the New Day was saying, like, they weren't tag team wrestlers, and like tag team wrestling is an art. Like, it's so much different when you're working in a tag than working in singles. And they were like, "Yo, you guys don't know. Like, we're gonna run you," and that's what they did for the most part. And then, yeah, like you said, almost came in and destroyed the New Day. Like, not just like pick you up, slam you, all right, you're out. Like, nah, he fucked them boys up.
All right. Next match, Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. This match, honestly, the storyline's stupid. And that's what the whole storyline was. It was Shane McMahon calling Braun Strowman stupid. And basically, this cage match was, to show that you're stupid because you wanted a cage match and you're stupid. And then Braun Strowman's like, this is for everyone who's ever been called stupid. And it was stupid. It wasn't the best cage match. There was 2 cool spots. Shane gets over the top. He starts climbing down. Braun from the inside rips the fucking fencing off of the cage and pulls him back in. Thought that was cool. And then the finish was basically Braun was on top with Shane McMahon, and he basically just tossed him off, and Shane basically did a 30-foot backdrop.
Shane died.
Yeah.
Shane died.
So basically, Braun Strowman won that, and that's pretty much those are the 2 spots that I would say. I mean, in the beginning, he got attacked, but he still won. And
Shane always finds a way to like do some death-defying stuff, but Shane died.
Yeah. But like the whole storyline behind it was just him being called stupid. So I like didn't really get into that one. All right. The next one, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison. A lot went into this match. The beginning of the match, there was bunnies came out, and John Morrison, and The Miz did their like song thing, and they were lip singing, and it was really bad, like really bad lip syncing. The bunnies that were in the ring, half of them were losing ears, and then Damian Priest came out to his normal entrance, and then Bad Bunny came out on this like huge truck flying in. My opinion on this match is Bad Bunny showed up, and he basically took the brunt of this match, just getting beat up. Damian Priest came in with like the hot tag, kind of like helped him out. Bad Bunny legitimately did like dives. He did a Canadian Destroyer. He showed that he could sell his ass off, and like he did, yeah. Bad Bunny, I would say in the top 3 of all celebrity wrestlers. And they
I
came out with the win. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest came out with the win.
I think Bad Bunny might be the top.
Pat McAfee, I think. Go back and watch that match. Pat McAfee was a one-on-one match. It was a singles match, and he did a backflip off the rope.
Okay, that's fair. But, okay, all right.
But Bad Bunny, like I said, top 3. The match was way better than I expected. Wow.
Bad Bunny definitely showed out on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Go watch it if you haven't. It's all over YouTube and stuff. But that was good. All right.
Yeah, it was great.
Anything else you want to add on that one?
No, I think they did. I think the story behind it was awesome. You know, Miz being like, you don't deserve to be here. You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be in this ring. Bad Bunny just fucking putting in the work, man. Like, It was great. It was great.
All right. On to the main event. All right. So this main event was like history-making main event for 2 reasons. It was, one, the first ever singles women's match to main event of WrestleMania. 2,
awesome.
If I am correct in this, I think it was the first main event with 2 people of color. I think I heard that. So not only first women, but also first double, like both wrestlers or of color to main event. I heard that. I could be wrong on that.
I'm trying to think back. You might be right.
So you could see right off the bat, both women were super emotional. You could tell, and like they were shaking their head, like with tears in their eyes, and they put on a clinic. This match was fucking awesome. Like this was my match of the night. Like honestly, like the back and forth. Yeah, they were kicking out. They were doing all this stuff. The ending, like you didn't really see it happening, but like it was definitive. Like it happened. But that fucking hair whip at the end was so fucking loud, and you just see this big fucking cut on the side of Sasha Banks' stomach from the hair whip, and just like the emotion from Bianca Belair to win it at WrestleMania. It showed her family in the front. It showed like how much like I think the emotion of pre-match and post-match with the history making aspect behind it, and how good the match was. I think overall, like this match was, go watch it. This was just good. This was awesome.
So I have a question for you.
All right.
Bianca Belair competed for the NXT Women's Championship.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Has Bianca Belair ever won the NXT Women's Championship?
No.
Bianca Belair goes to the main roster.
Yes.
Has she ever competed and or won the women's championship on the main roster?
No.
Now she's at the grandest stage of them all, wrestling for the women's championship of the main roster. She wins the championship at Mania.
Yeah.
You can feel all of that emotion inside of her, of all her hard work, all of her dedication, all the years that she's put in training and being in the ring and doing shows, and you can just feel all of it, and it all meant something because of that one night. Not only did she make history, but now she is the women's championship or women's champion. I'm sorry, on the main roster. Like that's just huge.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely huge. And the moment that her and Sasha shared in the beginning is like all of that coming back around, being like, yo, we're here and we're making history. It was awesome.
I
The
agree.
feeling was awesome. The moment was awesome. It was awesome.
It was a good way to end the night one. Okay, here we go. Night two. There was 7 matches, and the first match was I don't even know. Randy Orton versus The Fiend. This match was a whole lot of nothing. The entrance was cool. It shows like a big like Jack in the Box in the beginning, like at the bottom of the ramp. Alexa Bliss turns the knob. The Fiend comes out. He's not all like burnt anymore. The match was like 5 minutes of nothing. Honestly, there was not much like crazy to it. Then Alexa Bliss pops up on top of the box with like black goo coming from her face. It looked fucking crazy. She was just like not even blinking or smiling. And then all of a sudden, the Fiend gets distracted. RKO, match over. Really quick, I'm just gonna say the Fiend has lived through burning, electrocution, fucking 18,000 stomps from Rollins, spears from Goldberg, blah, like this, like survived all this stuff, and then an RKO knocked him out for 3.
So I think this is the one. This is one of the things where we saw a difference here. Uh, really quick. So I'll say it really quick. This to me is this generation's Kane. You know, when we were younger, when you saw Kane and Taker and they hit them with everything they could and they kept coming back and they kept fighting and they were monsters. Like it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
I'm okay with that, but the fact that he got distracted and an RKO knocked him out, I was like, oh, that was weak.
Well, you got to think. Bliss has always been on his side. Bliss has always been like his almost, like his partner. And then all of a sudden, Bliss has the same black shit that's coming down her face that Orton had coming out of her mouth, which has this the connection between her and Orton, not her and the Fiend. So the Fiend was kind of like, "What the fuck is this?" Turn around, RKO. So it caught him off guard. That's why. And then he stood up, and then you guys had that stare down for a little bit.
And then they both vanished. Besides, there's not much to say after that, honestly. Like, I'm curious to see how the storyline plays out. It didn't really play out on Raw too much, but we'll see how that goes. All right, match number 2: Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler for that tag team women's match, and here we go. A solid match. Natalia's a ring general, so is Tamina. Back and forth. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler win. I thought maybe they would lose because I don't really like them as a tag team. And I think it would have been cool to give Natalia and Tamina the win. But they didn't get it.
I agree. It would have been awesome to see them as tag champs. It is cool to see Nia Jax and Baszler as like almost opposites, almost that Michaels Diesel, but in a different way, if you think about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, match number 3: Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. With Logan Paul in the mix, but he did not interfere in the match at all, so I was grateful of that. Here's my rundown. Here's my opinion on this. This match was good, solid, but I've seen better Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn matches. I would have thought that the two have so much history that they would have like laid it all out at WrestleMania, because I think this is the first time they ever faced each other at WrestleMania. Kevin Owens won. Logan Paul came into the ring to like now play the sides, because he was with Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens stuns him. Everyone goes home happy, kind of thing.
I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. I just, you've seen like you've seen killer matches of theirs, but I think maybe there was the storyline playing aspect to it. So, all right. So next we have Sheamus versus Riddle for the United States Championship. Riddle was the champion. Sheamus beat him in 10 minutes. I'll give you this. I'm not a big fan of Riddle right now, but they beat the shit out of each other. This is a hard fought match. Riddle's a ex-UFC fighter. Sheamus is a no-joke wrestler. And this was a hard-hitting match, a solid hard-hitting match. Sheamus went over.
That brogue kick out of the moonsault was dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just say. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
That was, yeah. I know we're running through night 2 like a little bit faster, but a lot of this stuff is like we can kind of simplify it. Like the next match is Apollo Crews versus Big E for the United States. No, for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a Nigerian drum fight, which basically was a hardcore match essentially.
Yeah.
So Wakanda forever. What I would say to this is, again, another hard-hitting match between two guys who could work, but this was only 6.5 minutes. So, like, it was like the last two, like, so basically Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Sheamus and Riddle, and Apollo Crews and Big E, in my opinion, was basically playing a video game with both opponents having unlimited specials. So they were like
more than that.
They were like hard-hitting matches that went really fast because they were all 10 minutes and under, and they just went hard and heavy.
The hell yeah. Well, all of those matches had so much story built up behind them too. So there's that. One thing I am going to say though is I absolutely 1,000% love what Apollo Crews is doing right now.
Okay, I can get behind that, but here's my thing, right? So you say there's a story between Apollo Crews and Big E. The story is Big E beat him 5 straight times.
And Apollo Crews started to actually come into who he actually is. And now he's fucking things up.
Well, with the help of Dabba-Kato, who came into the match and like chokeslammed Big E, which then gave Apollo Crews the win.
Which is just continuing for him to be him.
Yeah, yeah. So now that's almost going to be like a Shawn Diesel thing too, because Dabba-Kato's huge.
Fucking monster.
And Apollo Crews is a big guy, but he's not like as big, obviously.
Nah, Apollo Crews is jacked.
He's jacked, but I don't think he's like tall. Compared to Dabba-Kato, he's not as big.
That's true.
Okay. All right. So the next match is Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. This was 13 minutes. It was for the Raw Women's Championship. Here's my opinion on this one. Solid match. I thought it was going to be better. I've seen better Ripley matches and I've seen better Asuka matches, and I thought these two were going to like kill it. They did well. Again, maybe I put too much like hype on this match because you saw Ripley versus Charlotte last year. I thought that was better. I've seen Asuka versus Charlotte. I've seen Asuka versus Becky. I've seen Asuka versus and a lot of those matches were better. So I assumed that these two were going to kill it. I thought this match was good, if not great, but I thought it was going to be better. And I think that's what I did to myself. I assumed bigger. I had bigger expectations for a lot of these matches, and they just didn't live up to my opinion. Yeah.
I also think this goes back to what I was saying before is different styles.
Okay.
Completely different, because Charlotte's more technical. Like, she'll still beat your ass, but like she's more like technical because she's always trying to strap in that figure 8, you know.
Yeah.
Asuka's like, I'm just gonna beat your ass, and
True.
you have Rhea, who is all power until she locks in her finish, and then there's that. I also thought that Rhea died off that fucking DDT. That was nasty.
She sold it.
No, it was great. It was great. I thought the match was great. But I could see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's just different styles.
Yeah. All right. So Rhea Ripley won that one, and if I didn't say before, Apollo Crews did beat Big E. So new champions for both. Rhea Ripley, again, another NXT star that has won. Same thing with Bianca Belair, another NXT star that won. So like NXT for the win current right now. Main event of night 2 and the end of the weekend, Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. The story behind this one is kind of complicated. It's essentially, if you got this, is Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan at one point were said that they were never going to come and wrestle again. Roman Reigns had leukemia. They didn't know if he was going to come back. Edge had a career-ending injury. They didn't know he was going to come back. Daniel Bryan had a career-ending injury. They didn't know if he can come back. Roman Reigns came back. Daniel Bryan came back. And Edge came back 2 years ago at the Royal Rumble. Then Edge came back 2 years ago. He got hurt again, and they were like, oh shit, when is he going to come back? He ended up coming back this year for the Royal Rumble, and he won the Royal Rumble. So it was supposed to be Edge versus Roman Reigns, but Daniel Bryan was able to get into the match because he was able to tap out Roman Reigns, which is the first person to tap out Roman Reigns ever. So then they made it a triple threat, and this match was fucking awesome. 21 minutes long, like just like the spear kind of thing. Like I was like, what? Like all 3 of these guys were like, they're hardcore workers. Roman Reigns went over, and he went over big. Like he pinned both guys. Like it was Daniel Bryan and Edge on Daniel Bryan knocked out, and then Roman pinned both of them. And I was like, oh yeah, he won. Oh yeah, he won. There's no rematch here. He fucked them both up.
Well, Edge knocked out Daniel Bryan with the concerto, right?
Yes.
So Edge.
No, I thought. Yeah, I think so. Sorry.
Edge was about to win. Jay comes back. Edge takes Jay out. Then Roman takes Edge out. Then Roman drops Edge with another single concerto. Then Roman stacks Edge on top of Bryan, signifying he's the head of the table. It was an awesome match overall. They all beat the shit out of each other. Edge came back and showed that he was, the ultimate opportunist, taking advantage of everything, taking out Jay in the beginning, so that way Jay wasn't a factor later on.
Mm-hmm.
But he winded up almost being a factor, pulling out concertos, not stopping on, trying to injure the other to, gain his rightful spot back. So if you think about it, the Universal title is the only championship in WWE Edge has never held. So
True.
He had to relinquish the heavyweight championship, but he never held the Universal.
True.
So he was coming back to finish what he started and to take back his rightful spot at the top as being heavyweight champion. And Roman Reigns being the head of the table was like, nah, this is my spot. So I think like the way that ended, fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it was. I'm curious to see how they continue the storyline on SmackDown on Friday. All right, so let me give you. Remember how I said before that I had a thought for the whole weekend or the whole week? So my thought is, if you notice, there was the only part-time wrestler was Shane McMahon, right?
Okay.
And between NXT and WWE or WrestleMania, most, if not all, champions were either new champions, fresh champions, or first-time champions, which I love.
Yes.
Think about it. I mean, the only one that wasn't was like Gargano won, but they put over Reed. Bronson Reed, right? You had Cross win. You had MSK win. You had Raquel Gonzalez win. The Shotzi and Ember, that's the new. They just became the tag champs, so they're pushing them. That was awesome. Bobby Lashley's only been champion for a little bit, and it's his first reign. Give it to him. You know what I'm saying? Nia and Shayna, I'm kind of over them, right? But they gave Cesaro his first win. Huge. AJ and Omos, first time AJ's a tag champion in WWE, first championship for Omos, awesome. They pushed Bad Bunny, cool. Bianca Belair main evented, and won the fucking championship. Awesome. You know, they got Sheamus getting the title. He hasn't had a title in a while. They pushed him. Apollo Cruz's first Intercontinental Championship. His first singles match at WrestleMania, I'm pretty sure. Rhea Ripley's first main title championship. And Roman Reigns, they're clearly going with Roman Reigns as like Bruno Sammartino. Sammartino, wow. Say it.
Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah. They're going with a Bruno kind of reign, I feel like. So they're just showing that, hey, fans are back. Well, at least for WrestleMania, we're staying with Roman Reigns. So like you got actual homegrown stars that they're building, that they're giving championships to. They're trusting the new people, and I thought that it was just so refreshing.
Okay.
You know, because it's always like, oh Brock, oh Goldberg, oh blah blah blah, and it's like nah, like none of it. Oh, like Undertaker. Oh, Shane McMahon. Like those four are normally like every single year. That's four matches right there.
Well, it's the first time you haven't seen like Taker or Triple H or
And Triple H, that's five matches right there. And there was 14 matches on WrestleMania. So that think about it. If that happened, no Apollo Crews, no Kevin Owens versus Sami, no Cesaro versus you know what I'm saying. Like these matches would not have been there.
I could see that.
I think it was a refreshing. It was a refreshing WrestleMania week. There was just like they put emphasis on, you know, like I said, homegrown stars, and I think it was refreshing. And I still think that probably number one match of the weekend was Walter versus Ciampa. But the Daniel Bryan match was awesome, and Bianca Belair and Sasha was awesome. So
I agree.
Any final takes you have on the whole week?
I just love all of it. I love the fact that we finally are back to, well, sort of back to some normalcy, and having fans in the stands and having, you know, the real cheers and the excitement, and you can tell even by like the superstars that perform there that like they miss that, you know. A
Mm-hmm.
big part of wrestling is feeding off of your audience and feeding from your crowd and feeling their emotion, and you know, we're still always there to entertain and to take them out, and like to take them out of whatever negative shit they're going through, and you know, make it a happy moment, even if it's just for 2 hours or 15 minutes or 45 minutes or 17 minutes, no matter how long, and just entertain. And I think with having them back, that gave like almost sense of hope, I want to say, to things going back to the way it was. Like for me, I loved every minute of it. I loved watching every minute of it. You could tell everybody was having fun, everybody was getting their ass whooped, you know. It was awesome.
Yeah. Well, I pretty much have told you how I feel about it, which is awesome. So I think that's a good spot to end there.
I agree.
Uh, the next time we're going to be talking about wrestling will be on the May 16th episode when we record, and it's going to be with first time guest Jerome and Shawnee Boy. We're bringing Sean back, and we're going to do, all four of us, a top 10 wrestlers. Who are our top 10 wrestlers and why? And maybe we'll even throw in a favorite match of theirs. So that's the next time we're going to be talking about wrestling. So that's in about a month or so.
That should be fun.
If you want to tell them what's coming up on Sunday. And
This Sunday.
we got a first time guest on Sunday.
Sunday. We got Benny Patrick coming on, talking about his business, throwing down, how he started. We're going to talk about how to build a business, how to run one,
marketing strategies,
how to give back to the people, how to give value to people. It's going to be awesome. Definitely don't miss it. First time guest. I can't wait to hear how he got started. I'm proud of what he built. So I'm excited for this, man.
It's going to be a little bit different than our normal, like, Standard might be more of like an interview style. So, but we'll see. I don't know how it will play out. You'll have to tune in and see.
Tune in, tune in, tune in.
Tune in, tune in, tune in.
Tune
But all right, guys.
in.
As always, follow us, like, share, comment, rate, review, subscribe, and all of the above to all of our social media platforms at Disaster Party Pod. We're also on YouTube. Go add to our subscribers over there. We also put this podcast out on video so you can see our handsome faces. But again, this is Rob Cedeno. You can follow me at Rob Cedeno on all social media platforms. And for this guy over here,
Oh, the one true Whoa Daddy. You can follow me on all social media at Andy Vivians. That's ANDD. I'll do it again. BIVIANS. I promise I am the one true Whoa Daddy. You can follow me on all social media platforms. You can follow us on TikTok. TikTok, because we don't stop. Stop. Let's go. Whoa Daddy.
all right, guys, until Sunday, you'll hear from us again, our beautiful voices. And maybe Andy will have watched at least one episode of The Office, but we will see.
Whoa Daddy. I almost watched it today, actually, while I was waiting in the car. Almost.
All right, well, that's it for the Disaster Party podcast. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.